Hello and welcome to another crochet tutorial with Ask Miss Cris. I, of course, am your host, Cris, and today I'm going to show you how to make the bow tie stitch. Now, the bow tie stitch is classified as an easy stitch, and it is worked across 4 rows. So you'll normally not see it in this type of situation where there's several lined up. It's usually considered more of an embellishment in patterns that I've seen. I'm sure I could continue this and make a very nice scarf, but I think I'm more prone to use it as an embellishment. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, the bow tie stitch, as I said, is worked across 4 rows, and when you're starting the pattern, you need a multiple of 13 plus 1. So the bow tie itself takes 13 stitches, and then the plus 1 is used for turning and all of that other fun stuff. So instead of showing you 2 bow ties, I'm just going to show you 1 bow tie in the tutorial, but you can easily, just as I said, crochet a multiple of 13 plus 1. And then that if you're in 1 row and you have multiple bow ties, let me get this back over here, just as an FYI. When you turn, you're going to single crochet counts, or the chain 1 counts as a single crochet on the turn. So when we go around, we're going to do the chain and then 2 single crochets, and then we're going to do the bow tie loops, and then we're going to do 3 single crochets. Well, if you have them stacked, you'll need to do 3 single crochets because that chain 1 needed to be a single crochet, if that made any sense. So let's go ahead and get started. As I said, I need a chain 13 plus a multiple of 1, so I'm only doing 1, so that'll be 14. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there's our chain. Oh, I forgot my plus 1. 14. There's our multiple of 13 plus 1. So we're going to go ahead and do this second row, which is just a row of single crochet. You will not be repeating this row unless you want to do a row of single crochet at the end. This is not part of the repeating pattern. So we're going to skip 1 stitch and put a single crochet into the next stitch and all the way down our chain. So it should be 13 single crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I always find crocheting across a chain more difficult. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Perfect. Oh, you might hear my laptop fan kick on in the background. So now we have a chain of 14 and a single crochet row. There are 13 single crochets, but we are counting. So there you go. Not bad. So now this next row, the row 2, is actually the start of the pattern repeat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 1, which counts as a single crochet. And like I said, if you do more than 1 bow tie lined up, then when you go to do this next bow tie in your row, you will create, it'll be 3 single crochets because this actually is a single crochet. We're going to turn, and I'm going to do 2 single crochets. So we don't need to do this first little, I rarely use that first. We're going to go in and do 2 single crochets. There's 1. Got a piece of string on my yarn. I was not expecting that. 2. And now we're going to start the bottom side of the bow tie loop. So we're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3. This is my yarn here. 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we are going to skip 7 of our single crochets. Alright, we're going to single crochet in the 8th stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Awesome. Do a single crochet and then 2 more single crochets. I got a little frog in my throat. I've struggled with the turning stitch. So this is what we have now. Basically it's 3 single crochets, 3 single crochets, and a 7 chain loop here. So now we're going to chain 1, which counts as a single crochet. We're going to turn. And we're basically going to repeat that row again. So 2 single crochets to start out with. 1. Oop, missed a loop. 2. Then chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to come back. We are going to skip this loop and put the 3 single crochets in at the end. Say right above the other 3 crochets from the previous row. 1, 2, and 3. Whoop, that's right. Thought I had a little extra yarn there. So now what you have is this. You have 2 loops. We're going to repeat the same row again. So chain 1 and turn. We're going to do those 2 starting crochets. This is such an easy stitch because once you get that first row done, it's like all of the counting is done for you. You know you'll have 3 and 3 with a 7 in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, and then we're going to go do the 3 single crochets at the end again. I'm going to skip that chain 7 loop and put those 3 single crochets at the end to secure the chain 7 that you just made. Yeah. Okay. Now is this next row. I said it was a pattern worked over 4 rows, so as you can see we've done 3 rows. This 4th row is going to be the row that makes the bow tie. So we're going to chain 1 and turn. And just like before, you're going to do 2 single crochets in. 1, 2. And now instead of doing a chain 7, you're going to chain 3. And now you are going to single crochet these together. Now you can do a looser or a tighter. I really prefer them to be tighter. I can show you the difference on this swatch. Take a little intermission here. This is a looser single crochet and this one is tighter. I think you get more of a bow tie definition if you go tighter. So it also helps that I crochet really tightly. So what you're going to do is you're going to insert your hook under all 3 of the chain 7 loops that you created, yarn over and pull through, and finish your single crochet there. And that will pull them up tightly. You might have to move that over to be more center, and that's alright. And now we're going to finish the bow tie by chaining 3. And then you're going to do the last 3 single crochets as you have in the previous rows. 1, 2, and 3. And there is a bow tie. The next row that you come up, you will start with the 7 loop again. So you'll do your 2 crochets, a 7 loop, and then those next 3 loops are the ones that you would bow tie together. So there you have it. That's how you complete the bow tie stitch. If you are writing your own patterns, the only real stipulation is that the bow tie should be an odd number, and that is so you can crochet an even number of stitches on both sides when you go to do the actual bow tie shape. So you would have a chain, then the loop, and the chain, so it'd be 3. You have 5. 3 would be awful small and kind of tight and probably not look as bow tie-y is this one. So 5, 7, 9, these are all, of course, the wider you get and the bigger your loops, the more definition you'll also be losing. So 7 and 5 are good numbers. And that is because you want to be able to have an even number when you do the tie. Total, sorry, 3 and 3 is not an even number, but 6 is. So with that said, this is the tutorial on creating the bow tie stitch. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. I would be more than happy to hear from you. Have a great day, everybody.